Okay, this is a reaction video. This is from Henry Talks Football. Please click like, share, and subscribe for him, as well as for me. I would appreciate it. Yeah, he's getting close to 50,000. I'm getting close to 400. Please, please, please click a subscribe on that button. I would really appreciate it. Now, Daniel Levy breaks silence. Spurs title hopes are dead. Well, getting where Spurs are right now, I don't know that they ever had any real title hopes to begin with. And let's say Arsenal has a better chance, even though they're 9 points adrift of Liverpool right now, being title contenders than Tottenham has. But okay, let's see what Daniel Levy has done, and maybe he's not firing Postecoglou like he thinks he should.
Ladies and gents, Tottenham are back in action in the Premier League, and I think it's fair to say the international break has not been the most of exhilarating, has it? Let's just be brutally honest. Of course.
Well, neither has your season. I mean, look. I'm an Arsenal supporter. I'm wearing the shirt, granted, but it hasn't exactly been a great season for whether you're playing or whether you're not playing.
Of course, the Premier League was back last night. Nottingham Forest beat Man United, Arsenal beat Fulham, and Wolves beat West Ham. Daniel Levy has done an interview in recent days talking about the direction of the football club, basically alluding to the fact that Tottenham aren't going to go out there and spend hundreds of millions of pounds. And
well, that pretty much kills your attempt at getting Xavi, I would think, for Tottenham to manage Tottenham.
Postecoglou has essentially done a message for Tottenham fans that have lost faith, saying that he doesn't like it when fans are told how to feel. Now, I'm not telling any Tottenham fan how to feel, but if you're happy with this season, I would love to know why. We are in the fucking pits. It's painful. Our entire season now is hanging in the balance of a Europa League tie against Frankfurt.
Well, come on. You are going to qualify for the Premier League next year. That is a fact. That is not going to change. You are going to... The only thing that you have with the Europa League is a potential trophy. Now, I don't think you're going to get it, but there's still the possibility. But let's be blunt, okay? You are going to be in the Premier League next year. That is a fact. You are going to make it to the Premier League season next year.
I'll be honest with you guys, it's not been anywhere near our best season. Frankfurt, of course, won on Saturday as well, 1-0 against Stuttgart. And they are actually in decent form, Frankfurt. They beat Ajax home and away in the Europa League, but their league form has taken a bit of a dip. They were battered by Leverkusen, they were battered by Bayern Munich, so we'll have to get into that. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and make sure...
Yeah, please click like, share, and subscribe for me as well as for him. I would appreciate it. I'm sure he would appreciate it as well.
You do hit that subscribe button. I'm not going to lie, I am fed up now. I want this season to end. I'm looking at videos of Ange Postecoglou basically in the absolute pits. 22 hours ago, the Spurs web put this video out. I can't play it for copyright reasons, but it essentially says Ange Postecoglou talks about how he thinks fans shouldn't really be told how to feel, and I agree with that. But what I would say is how this manager is still in a fucking job is insanity. Our entire season is riding on this Europa League game, and when you've got Daniel Levy who's brought out talking about revenue, talking about this, talking about that. Tottenham have announced the decreased revenues of 528.2 million, which is down 4%. Daniel Levy said we are currently find ourselves in 14th. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? We currently find ourselves in 14th position in the Premier League, navigating what has been a highly challenging season.
That's an understatement. That is a huge understatement. We are, however, in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Winning this competition would see welcome silverware and mean qualification to the Champions League. We must do everything we can to support the team in these final key stages.
The reason it's been challenging is because our recruitment over the years has been absolutely diabolical. We've got a manager who is tactically inept, a fan base who at times are so gassed up with our manager because we play quote unquote the Tottenham way and a good brand of football. The whole thing's bullshit. It's bullshit. We are, however, in the quarterfinals of the Europa League, winning the competition would welcome silverware, which is clearly not your priority, Daniel Levy, because you said yourself...
Look, I have said that Postecoglou is a problem. He is not the problem. The problem with the Spurs is Daniel Levy, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, okay? You could disagree. You can say it's Postecoglou if you want, but I think it's Daniel Levy is the problem.
The fans forum that the three biggest achievements have been the growing the size of the club, reaching the Champions League final, and of course building the stadium. There was nothing about winning out. You're the only major honour that you've brought to this football club. We must do everything we can to support the team in the final key stages. Since opening our stadium in 2019, we have invested over 700 million net in player acquisitions. Recruitment remains a key focus, and we must ensure that we make smart purchases within our financial means.
Well, you haven't really done that, so that you really haven't made smart purchases as far as players or acquisitions are concerned.
I mean, listen, the Premier League right now is the most competitive it's been in my lifetime. Teams like Bournemouth, Newcastle, Brighton, Nottingham Forest are going to be in the Champions League. Aston Villa are in the FA Cup semi-finals and the Champions League quarter-final. It's ultra competitive. We need the best squad we've got available. It's as simple as that. And the only way we're going to get our best squad is by having a manager who can adapt to what's in front of him and having a recruitment team that actually buy good players. We are ranked the 9th richest club in the world, yet we are where we are in the Premier League. Bournemouth have a fifth of the revenue, a fifth of the size of the stadium, but they've still got Dean Huijsen, Semenyo, Kirkes, Cliver, even
Adams. Yeah, there's Bournemouth has made some smart purchases and really done well in the Premier League this year.
Players like Evan Nilsson as well. However, a closer examination of today's financial figures reveal such a spending must be sustainable in long term and with our revenue within our revenue operating revenues. I mean, whoever wrote this, our capacity to generate recurring revenues determines our spending power. No, that's not exactly specifically true because the club is worth or valued at around 4 to 5 billion pounds. We generate more money than any team in the Premier League, and throughout the history of the Premier League, we are the most profitable club. But look at some of the signings we have made.
Look, you may be the most profitable club. Okay, that may be so. And look, there are a lot of Spurs fans that I've seen out there in my travels who are just diehard Spurs fans, but they are just not very good on the pitch, and that is a fact, and that is just how it is. And so it's they try. I can't say that it's from a lack of trying. Spurs fans are like the most dedicated and loyal fan base out there, but they just have nothing to show for it.
Just under this manager, £50 million for Brennan Johnson, £40 million for Odebear, yet he's been injured practically the entire time he's been here. £60 million for Dominic Solanke, yet we don't have a system that can create a consistent amount of clear-cut chances. It's very, 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 very head-scratching right now. It really, really is.
Look, if you want to see a truly dedicated Spurs fan, go to Oozing Expressions. He's the one who's probably the biggest Spurs fans out there, and he absolutely goes crazy for the Spurs. For Spurs, he absolutely goes crazy. And Henry's not too bad either, but like I said, I see a lot of fans of Tottenham Hotspur, and in fact, I think my brother's a fan of Tottenham Hotspur, and they just get no love and no respect from their board, from Daniel Levy, from the manager down. It's just absolutely horrendous.
Bergvall was a good buy.
And long may it continue as far as I was concerned. I'm an Arsenal fan, and Spurs are my enemy.
But, I mean, whoever thought it was a good idea to put Timo Werner on 170 grand a week?
Timo Werner couldn't score in a Las Vegas cat house with $100,000 in his pocket, and yet he started for Chelsea in the Champions League final, if I'm not mistaken, and just has not been able to score for any team that he's played for on a consistent basis.
I want to thank everyone who supports us through good times and bad. We are resilient and passionate about the club. We should aim to finish this season strongly, and we can continue to build success on the pitch. What do you mean continue to build for success on the pitch? We haven't won anything in 17 years. This football club is a disgrace. And our entire season is hanging on the balance of a Europa League win. It's ridiculous. Look at the games we've got coming up. Wolves now are 5 points behind us.
Again, even if Wolves catch you, even if you end up in 17th place, you are still going to be in the Premier League. Okay? You're still going to be in the Premier League.
5 points behind us. We've still got to play Wolves away, funny enough. We've still got to play Chelsea away. We've still got to play Liverpool, Forest and West Ham away. And
Well, you play Chelsea tomorrow.
Aston Villa away. We genuinely could finish 17th this season.
And that will keep you in the Premier League.
We've also got Wolves sandwiched in between the Frankfurt game. Like, honestly, our entire season is hanging.
Okay, you play Chelsea tomorrow. Now, I saw Chelsea play live and in person back on the 16th of March. They couldn't score. I think that could end up being a 0-0 or a 1-0 Tottenham win. You could actually win that game. You should beat Southampton. You should beat Eintracht Frankfurt, to be honest with you. You should beat Wolves. I think you'll beat Eintracht Frankfurt. That'll be a difficult game on the road. You play Nottingham Forest at home. That's going to be a tough game. Liverpool on the road. Liverpool's not been playing very well. And West Ham, you may win more than you lose. I mean, it's possible.
On the balance of this Frankfurt game. We're not going to go to Stamford Bridge and beat Chelsea. They got Cole Palmer and Jackson back. We probably will beat Southampton. But let's be honest, Southampton are in the pits. I want to see heavy rotation for that Southampton game. I do not want to see our best team, available. We then got Wolves in between. I don't think we'll beat Wolves. We then got Nottingham Forest. 4 days after we play Frankfurt. We then got Liverpool. This month, we have got to play 9 games. 9 games this month. Sorry, not 9. 7 games this month. Frankfurt home and away. Wolves, Liverpool, Southampton, Chelsea.
Yeah. Look, I think you guys are going to win some of these games. I think you guys, I think you guys could. Okay, if Palmer's back for Chelsea, that may make a difference. You'll beat Southampton. I think you'll beat Frankfurt at home. You should beat Wolves on the road. You could beat Nottingham Forest at home. You could beat Liverpool's not doing very well, and West Ham is a winnable game.
I don't know what to make of it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think we have got to really take a long, hard look at the situation at this football club. We are broken right now. Look at where we are in the Premier League, and you've got an ownership that only really cares about is generating revenue. You can't tell me he's doing what's best for Tottenham in the Premier League. We've already signed up all these different revenue streams. But when it comes to spending the money from those revenue streams, we buy absolute dross like Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson.
Okay, but again, at least for this season, you guys will be in the Premier League. Okay, you guys are going. Look, Ipswich Town is 17 points. Okay, they are 12 points away from Wolves with a game in hand. Okay, and they are 17 points off. You are safe.
Wolves are 5 points below us. We're 11 on points with Everton and with West Ham. If teams around us...
You also have a game in hand on them, which you got to play on Thursday.
Let's pick up points in the time while we have to play Wolves, Forest, Chelsea, Liverpool and Villa. I'll be honest. We may finish 17th. And it's only because the 3 teams below us are that bad. Look at Everton, 4 straight draws in a row. Look at West Ham. 2 wins in their last 5. Look at how inconsistent Man United have been. Draw, win, loss. You know? Crystal Palace have won 3 games in a row. Crystal Palace with both their games in hand, you know, they could be on 45 points. If Crystal Palace win their game tonight against Southampton, right, Crystal Palace are on 42 points, which is 8 above us. Crystal Palace.
Again, like I said, don't worry about Crystal Palace, okay? Crystal Palace is not for you to concern about, okay? Just concern yourself with Spurs and who you play next. That's all you need to concern yourself with.
But yet, fans still want to clap this manager. Fans are still behind this ownership. I'm prepared for this.
Look, I'm with you. I'm against this ownership. I'm against this. I should take it back. I love this ownership. This ownership is fantastic. Long may it continue. I hope you keep Postecoglou for 7 straight seasons. I would love 14 wins against Tottenham. It would absolutely adore me. I take that back. I love Tottenham the way they are right now. I think long may it continue.
Season to be over. Adios, au revoir, bonsoir. Yeah. I've checked out. I've checked out of this Premier League season. It's not good enough. It really.
But you're going to still be here after the game against Chelsea, and if they lose, you're going to be gutted. You're going to be complaining, and you're going to be screaming for Postecoglou's head.
It really isn't. You've got, you know, the Frankfurt game to save our season. Don't get me wrong. The reality is this could be our most successful season in 40 years.
Yeah, if you win the Europa League and if you make it to the Champions League.
If we win the European trophy. But is that really going to happen? I don't know. Probably.
Look, anything's possible until you don't know till you play the game.
No, drop a like.
Yeah, please click like, share, subscribe for Henry Talks Football, as well as for me. I would appreciate it. I really would appreciate if you put that subscribe on mine, get me to 400. I would appreciate that. But please click like, share, and subscribe for him as well as for me. I would love it. And have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.